Hey, this is Halana Black here from digitalwellpublisher.com. So glad to see you. I wanted to do a quick live video to talk about how to motivate yourself to write. Now, I am a ghostwriter, I'm an author coach, as well as an editor. And people always ask me how they can improve their writing. And of course, in order to improve your writing, you need to write more. But a lot of people say, well, how do I want to write, but I want to be able to be motivated to be able to write more than what they're doing if they're writing at all. So, here are three ways that I use to be able to motivate myself to write. So, one of the first things that I do, particularly when I'm talking about writing for my own personal projects, not necessarily things that I'm doing for clients, is I write in the AM. I write in the morning. So when I'm writing in the morning, um, usually about half hour to an hour after I've gotten out of bed, I make sure that I put my best energy in writing my own personal projects and not necessarily getting started on client projects as of yet. The reason being is because in the morning, that's when I have most of my energy. My energy is at its highest. And because I want my personal projects to be the best that they can absolutely be, it's important for me to be able to get up in the morning and put that energy first into my own projects. And then I use what I have later to be able to put into all of my other projects. And when you know you've done the work that you're supposed to do to be able to get those personal projects done, there's a sense of accomplishment that I get from that, that I don't get from when I'm doing my client projects. And it's not that I don't like my client projects. It's just that when you need to have a sense of fulfillment in what it is that you're doing. And when you're always giving to everyone else, you start to sort of feel tired and run down. And you don't want to bring that energy into your client projects. You want to be able to bring a sense of accomplishment, a feeling that you've completed something. Um, and so I find it best to be able to do those personal projects first thing in the morning. Number two would be to find an accountability partner for your writing. If you know, especially for those of you who are thought leaders, not necessarily for those of you who are writing novels or anything, and not that this advice wouldn't apply to them, but most of the people that I work with are people who are thought leaders and want to be able to write things that um, that improve the writing that they'd like to do for their thought leadership, right? So if you want to be able to do that more often, it's a good idea for you to find someone else who is also doing that same kind of work. Find an accountability partner. Now, there are a lot of writing groups out there where you may be able to find an accountability partner, but I find that a lot of those groups, a lot of those writing groups, not that they're not useful and not that they're not good, but a lot of them are focused on writing, doing fiction work. And so if you are coming in wanting to write thought leadership articles, it may not be a good fit for you in that particular group because a lot of them, um, I find in a lot of those writing groups, there's a lot of people who want to be able to write. They talk a lot about writing. They might be even be doing a lot of writing, but no one is really moving forward with their writing. It's more like the writing group is more of like it's like more social hour than anything else, right? So that's not really the energy that you want to be able to bring into writing your thought leadership pieces. You want to have the energy of being around other people who are working to be able to accomplish goals. You want to be around other people who are writing things that need to be published. There's a deadline on them, and you don't want to be working on the same project for years and years. Um, so I don't know. Maybe you're in a writing group where the energy is a little bit different. But in my experience, I found that a lot of writing groups are not really as useful for people who are interested in writing thought leadership pieces. They're more for people, who want to be in this culture of, writing novels, and you're working on the same project for years and years, and it never really goes anywhere. So find yourself an accountability partner who's a bit more serious about the things that they want to create, and you hold each other accountable. Once a week, you can meet either on the phone, you can meet online, it could be a simple email saying, hey, did you write that piece that you said that you were going to write? You can swap pieces and you can edit each other's work. And it can actually really be a great way for you to improve your writing beyond just being motivated to write it. When you know that someone else is going to read it, you actually get it done, and you can help improve each other's writing, make sure that what you want to say is in there. And I just find it to be useful. So finding an accountability partner. And then number 3, find a place to publish your work. Find a place to publish your work is a great way to be able to motivate yourself to write. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is this. There are plenty of places for you to be able to publish. You don't have to sit and wait for someone else to find value in your work and publish your work in a book. If you're going to go through traditional publishing channels, honestly, it could take years for you to be able to do that. But there's a lot of ways to be able to publish much shorter pieces in the meantime. So you can use your personal blog. There's plenty of places where you can post on other people's blogs. I recently published an article in Thrive Global, which is an online media site. You can check that out. That's owned by Arianna Huffington. She used to own the Huffington Post. That was a great place for me to publish, and all I had to do was submit. All I had to do is submit, and you can do the same thing. There are other places where you can publish your pieces and have people read them and make comments, and you really get a sense of accomplishment from doing that. So once you do that once, you can say, hey, I've published my piece in X, Y, and Z website, online magazine, maybe even a print magazine. And that really gives you a sense of motivation of being able to continue with your writing. Plenty of places online where you can publish for free, not necessarily to be able to get paid, but to be able to say that you've done the work. So that's really important. So I've given you 3 ways to be able to motivate yourself to write. Number 1, let's review. Number 1 is to write in the morning. First thing when you get up, start your writing. Work on it for 15, 30 minutes to an hour if you can. That way you'll feel more of a sense of an accomplishment. Okay? Number 2 is to find an accountability partner. Find someone who's doing the same sort of article writing that you are doing, someone who's doing these think pieces, thought leadership articles, blog posts, and things like that, and try and stay away from the other writing groups where people are doing more novel writing and just sort of sitting on the same project for years and years. Not that those groups aren't great, but they may not be the best place for you to be able to reach the goals that you're trying to set. And then number 3, you want to be able to find some place to publish. You no longer have to wait for someone else to publish your work. You can publish your work on your own, whether it's your own blog, you can do a guest blog someplace else, and plenty of other high traffic online websites and magazines where they are really looking for great content to be able to publish your work. Okay, so my name is Helana.